Yes, my viewers and subscribers, welcome to another week of MELLACHE Analysis Thursdays. Yes, my viewers, we have on set tonight um, Mr. Professor himself, Mr. Floyd Wright. Welcome, Mr. Professor.
Yeah, man. Welcome to you, Melachi, and greetings to the viewers.
Yes, my viewers, um, we have completed the preliminary rounds. Yes, I will going into the quarterfinals. Yes, my viewers. And for the prediction for last Sunday. Was there an upset, Professor? Was there an upset?
Well, highly unlikely. There weren't any of note. I think everything go according to probably most person's prediction. They were the most surprised because as a result of the last rounds of game, there are other teams didn't either show up or don't show up, or either they didn't finish their game. So it was
Okay,
just
so
the teams who qualify already are on the verge of having a qualification did play out their game or honor their fixtures.
okay. So you think we're having a winner? You think we're having a winner for last week? The prediction?
Mo- Most likely,
Because
as a result,
last week matches were just straightforward, right?
basically, I think yes, basically, there might be a yes, because the only difficulty match would probably would have been the Rise of Nagwet game. We probably a lot of persons probably differ on that, but for most parts, everything probably would be straightforward.
Okay. And also I think the memory lane match versus Village, I think that was just straightforward, that could go either way.
Well, it could
I
have,
don't think that was
and the
I don't think
results
that
are
was
probably showing it.
straightforward.
Yeah, but it's straightforward eventually. So as we speak, all eight teams have now qualified for the final eight have been decided. So let's get into it now, Elijah. What do you have to say now?
Okay, yes. My viewers, we apologize for our Playmaster for not being here. Um, he has some important stuff dealing with, and also center forward. Yes, my apology for center forward also. All right. Let's just go right into it now. Yes, world boss, big up yourself, world boss. Yes, and Arville Smith, our boss, pure boss in the place tonight, Professor. Tall
Yeah,
boss and world boss.
uh,
Pure boss in the house tonight. Yeah, man. Big up, big up, big up. All right, we'll just go right into it now. Um,
six was probably soon come on then too.
oh,
Six
Bobby
boss.
six. Oh,
Yeah,
six
no.
boss. And six boss, I call him. No, I'm take a five boss for you.
Five why we can't get six boy.
You can't get six.
Can't get six. Yeah, man.
Okay. All right. It's just Professor and I. Um, is on tonight, so we're going to go a bit fast. All right. Let us try. Let us go right into it. Links United 250, Passage Fort 136. Oh, they have Passage Fort as 136 and then they throw in. Why they have it?
Yes, because the that's it probably the score that they throw in from. So if it was 136, if that was the score at 136 and any amount links were leading by, if the Passage Fort
Yes.
had to throw in, obviously links would have gotten all points, and Passage Fort will have
The
remain
remaining
on
remaining of
on the
points.
score. Yes, and Passage would have
But
remained on the score that
yeah, but
they were on.
I saw in the list I saw there's another team that the person they throw in also, but they didn't put the points there. They just put Chuck off there. So I was
Yes,
just wondering why they never just put throw in.
I will discuss that later as we go on. So probably we can look at.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this was expected. Links, the win for Links was expected. Versus Passage Fort.
Yes,
And
definitely.
yes.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
right stuff.
No, before
Right.
we go on, Malachi,
Yes.
one of the
Yes.
things that we expect Links to win this fixture, and pass it forward without, probably because of, I don't know if it is because they are undermanned based on the turnout. However, they didn't have any as a purpose in this competition, so they were playing as basically as an academical interest, and they did turn out, which is good, and eventually with how the game is going and where they don't have much interest in the top eight. Links do, they just probably throw in as a result. So that is probably one of the reasons why that scoreline is like that. So we can Links was wanted this one far more to see where they land in the competition. So it was good. Pacific Food did turn out, but I would rather
Yes.
they finish the encounter.
Okay. Okay. And another note too, I think one of the reason why they throw in because of the very you have two important matches nearby, which was the Nagos and Right Stuff match and
Bull Bay
Old
Foundation.
Bay Foundation. So you have two important matches going on. So I think maybe that's why they did throw in to go and watch those matches.
No, but one of the things that we want to, as much as these games are important, they
Uh
should
huh.
teams should honor their fixtures, because this one
Which they
is
did because they turned up. They turned up, which
yes,
they did.
but they need to finish. They need to finish in this the encounter, because I have to stress on this a little bit more. Is the fact that if you want to garner sponsorship for a particular competition, you have to honor your last fixture, even if you don't have any chance, because if sponsors are looking mileage as much as possible out of their product, so you want to ensure that they get value for their money, and by finishing these encounters, it augurs well for sponsorship. And I think I don't think I believe teams should finish their fixtures on the eye, just as they started.
Yes.
No, made the band, made the band. No.
Brett, just I'm going to make you stay
You don't know?
backstage for a while. So just give us 5 minutes, Brett, okay?
Yeah, man.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, one. All right. And I was just saying that the team should finish their remaining fixtures as they started.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yes, Everett. Big up yourself, Everett. I don't think anybody um the prediction for last week, Everett. I don't know. Um, Michael Scott, big up yourself. Lyndon McCullough, blessings, blessings, blessings. All right. Fair enough, Professor. Yes, fair enough. Because I was just saying because both teams don't have anything. If it was something was on the line now, well, but because they're bringing
Yeah, man.
sponsors and
The-
stuff like that, maybe sponsors looking
yes,
in.
yes.
Yes. All right.
And it's
Moving on to right stuff versus
go ahead.
Nagoya. Right
This
stuff
was
250. Nagoya 231.
yeah, this is one of the feature based on what was going on. This is one of the feature encounters. Right stuff had really qualified. Nagoros awaiting their turn to qualify. Wanted needed victory and hoping that foundation don't get a point. Foundation no right stuff it was a very close encounter, and it was Rice of just pull away in the last 20 games, and
Yes.
there was somewhat of a Nago did make it interested and show that they wanted to make the last 8. If the result over in Bull Bay as it stands was and Nago still win, the victory would be certainly in vain. But they did put up a good fight. They lost probably like 12 games, consecutive games in the latter part, because when they were leading by 6 at one stage and Rice of need 12 to win. I don't think they win another game before that end. So it was quite a good fight until just a few probably captaincy miscalculations allowed Rice of to come away victors.
Okay. All right. Yes, this was a very good match, a very exciting match also. All right. Moving on. Classic 250, Masterpiece 196. What
No
happened there? Did,
surprise.
did Masterpiece throw in or what?
I'd probably hardly masterpiece don't usually throw in like that really unless there's something um I I, I don't know, to be honest with you. However, the classic would have probably blown them away anyway, whether they throw in or not. So it was no surprise even by looking at the score. I'm not aware of masterpiece throwing in. I didn't inquire, but definitely scoreline suggested that Classic did what Classic had to do and ended this preliminary round unbeaten and looking to um, regain the a title that they lost last year.
Okay. All right. Mechanical 250, Central 207.
uh, well, Mechanicals did squeeze in themselves in this last 8, and it was they were one of the teams we expected to be there before an actual game was suffered in this competition. However, they lost some quality players. Still come back and did well. Fought throughout the competition. Eventually put themselves in a precarious position of not making it. Central against a Central team in this last encounter. It's something about the score, because at one stage it was bordering and a little bit in double figures, just about 10 thereabouts, and then eventually when the last score I heard, Central lost by that massive margin. So I don't know what goes on there. However, Mechanical did get the necessary points that they want, and because if they were in a spot of bother, if they have lost this encounter, Central didn't have any
The
purpose
chance.
going forward in these competitions. Yes, so they were just honoring the fixture from an academical point of view. Now Central would have made a fight for it because they have done that against a lot of teams, and I think Mechanical did ensure that they put away this one from Central, and throughout the day probably they were the leaders. For most parts, when I was keeping a check abreast of the scores, Mechanical was ahead for most part. So it was a good victory for them in the end, a well needed victory too. And they were the last year beaten finalists, so they are doing well, and let's see what they have in the quarterfinal stage.
Okay. Very good. Memory Lane 250, Village Inks 241. A very close
Yes,
encounter here also.
close because the two teams are at the foot of the table, 16th and 17th. So that was expected to be a close encounter. It did. I predicted Maryland to be the victors here. Village Links at one stage did, I understand, suffered a few a few points taken away in the initial stages because they couldn't feel a team, but eventually they did, and the contest was eventually had an outcome, and Memory Lane did perform credibly in this competition, and rightly win this encounter at the team of the bottom of the sellers.
Okay. So Village is still in 17th place.
Yes, they finished last in the competition.
No, 17th place. Mr. Right, Mr. Professor.
Yeah.
I think better put in 17th place, Mr. Right.
They finished last one.
Finish last.
Yes, man.
Okay. All right. Bull Bay, 250. Foundation, 240. Question. The outer point. At what point outer point start? At 10?
At 10. Yes, at 10.
Oh, so because they lose by 10 now, they didn't get any point, right?
Yeah, they did get a point from 10 on and under.
Or 10 and under.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But even if they didn't get a point out of this match, they would have still make it, right? They would have still make it. Because
Yes, based on
like I said, lose. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 10 and under.
Yes, I
And
think
10
it
and
is.
over. 10 and over is out of, no, 11 up is out of point.
Yes, 11 outer, supposed to be outer points. I think Foundation.
Oh,
I think
Linda and Makala said 10 is no point.
no point. So it's 10 and under. It's 9 and
No, it's
under.
9. 9 and under.
9 and under. Yes, for sure.
Oh, it's 9 and under is a point.
My bad. Because
Okay.
they did finish, they won 41 points and did finish on that amount of points. So if Nagoya had won the game, they would have surely made the top paid, and Foundation would be out. I think Foundation did put up a gallant fight in this encounter. Bull Bay was expected to get the better of Foundation, and did that. They fought all the way, because this is an encounter. It's surprising that every time you hear a score coming out of this game, it was Bull Bay by 10.
Yes,
You know?
I realized that they went for this match, Professor, because since the Laz and Foley teaming up.
No,
You understand?
they had this game was significant in all eras, because
Yes.
the if Foundation did win this encounter, they would have to play in classic. That was important. That was an important thing. So if they had won,
Yes.
they would have finished ahead of mechanical, and they wouldn't have faced classic.
Yeah,
So
but it still won't change, though, I don't think to that change for Bull Bay, though, It's not a change for Foundation.
No, man. But for Bull Bay is just in for the which position or they finish in terms of points. However, Foundation would have faced another. I would have been playing Brayton instead of Classic. So that was very significant for them too. So they wanted that victory.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Good point. Thanks, Linda and Makala, for that. 10 is no point. Yes, thanks for that. All right. Yes. So that it was very important for Foundation to win. Yes, because going to the quarterfinal, I don't think nobody wants to play against Classic going to the quarterfinal.
No, I don't like when they say that, Melachi. I prefer you say they don't want to face Classic at that point. Because why not want to face a team like Classic anywhere? Because you at some point, if you're going to win the competition, if you would love to win the competition, you have to play Classic some point. If you're avoiding them and you feel that they are superior, at least what you're saying to yourself is that they will be in the final. So you want to just go to the final and give up? No, I don't think that. So they just wanted to avoid Classic in the initial stages. And then they will take it from there. If they meet at the semi-final and final, it will be very important. Because if that was the case, you can last year, Britain beat them at the semi-finals. They didn't, Britain probably wouldn't want to face Classic at that time. But it was eventually good because in the final, it was much easier for them.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's better you get them very early at even the semi-final stage, and then the quote-unquote final will be much easier.
Okay. All right. What happened here? Brayton 250 Cherry. No point. What? Cherry guard didn't turn up?
That seems the case, and I predicted that would happen. After last week lost, they surely do want they're not going to be motivated to come out. And I understand, and as I said, as much as I understand they're not motivated to come out, I think you should still honor your fixture.
Yeah, they should honor their
And
fixture. That's not good,
yes,
man.
it's, and it was very difficult for them to be motivated after the last week, because that was their last chance of um of reaching the top 8, and by not winning that encounter, it puts them out, totally out. So it was difficult for even players who more than half of their team is from the Western era. Would be it wouldn't be, it's like with foolhardy for them to travel all that way to just to play in a match that it has no significant interest.
Yeah, but like what you said in the initial stage, um, suppose sponsors were looking in and looking for leverage and stuff like that. You
Yes,
understand? They have to
that
and they
has,
need to honor their fixtures.
yes, that has to be emphasized going forward to all teams, because that does augurs well for the game. And if we continue to do so, we will lack sponsorship at these major um, competitions. So let's see if we can improve on our fixtures. And I implore all teams, and that is one of the, I hate to use the word teams. I prefer clubs, because teams is probably something that you can pick up and all of the word mean a collective effort. But a club in terms of a structure would probably be a better way to go forward. I think probably we need to look at the club structure, a club structure where they must have meetings before you can enter any commission. You should have a meeting, a president. You should also have a slate to bring forward to see where you are. So we can, in these competition now, we can penalize the clubs and probably take the necessary actions if whatever infringement they cause in the competition. Because even if they don't, they are liable for the next season if they infringe on the commission rules and so forth. So we need club structures and not just teams, as I put it. Although teams is, as I said before, is a collective effort of people together. But we do want a club structure. That means that we have a president and a full slate of vice presidents, etc., etc. So we need to look at that as administrators of the sport.
Okay. Yes, well said, well said, Professor. Everett is asking um, if he won himself the credit. Um, when I need to go and check back, Everett, I don't know if you have it there. You could send in your prediction for last week. But if you're sure you won, the credit will be yours. So we have to go and check it again, Everett. Yes, Professor. So what's up on correctional? So what's up 250 and I have correctional chuck off here. So correctional did throw in the towel here also.
He, um, it was a bit different in this encounter. Correction couldn't feel a team after a couple of hours. Basically, the match started late, and then even when they tried to see if a game can be constituted, they couldn't feel it. Another table after over or and so forth. So that game was basically called off as a result. They started the game and were playing. So that is what constitutes why by looking at it, you say a chuck off, but it's really what should I say, a no contest really, because so it will be a no contest. Right? Because the only way a game can be constituted and put a score line to it,
Yes.
it would have to be, yeah, you have to afford to fill all tables.
Okay. Yes. Western Kingston. Watson. Big up yourself, Watson. Tamara. Yes, Tamara. Hi, Tamara. Good night. Big up yourself, Tammy. All right. Moving on to the Sansan League now. Although
No,
this week is
no,
this.
before you go,
Yes, Professor.
Malachi, probably you can get the points. Go to your point standings quickly,
Okay.
no? Yeah, that's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Final.
Yes, I should have gone through the point standing. Yes, Professor. Thanks for
Yes,
reminding
we
me.
can go through it.
All right. The
All right,
point
yeah.
standing is Classic. The first place is Classic on 68 points, maximum points. Brayton on 57 points. In second place, Lynx on 57 points. Also, Bull Bay
Virtually
fourth place on 56
when
points.
Britain finished, and hold on, Malachi, Britain finished second as a result of they beating Lynx. So on head to head.
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
because both teams are on 57 points.
Yes. Right.
So because of the head-to-head, Brayton, they put Brayton ahead of Lynx. All right, Bull Bay on 56 points. Right Stuff in fifth place on 53 points. Fort International in sixth place on 45 points. But question though, before moving on though, Professor.
Mm-hmm.
Say that Foundation did win and go on 45 points. Which team would end up playing Lynx Classic? Because Fort International would be on 45 and Foundation would be on 45. So who would play Classic?
Think they will be playing Classic, Mechanical, and Foundation. Yes, and Foundation and they remain the same because I think Fort beat Foundation.
Okay, because Mechanical would have finished in 8th position.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So Mechanical would have played Classic.
Yeah, instead, yes. That's it.
Oh, okay. And then the
Fort
others now.
Yeah, remain the same. Although
Remain
they
the
both
same.
they finish on 45 points. The Classic for the Fort will have to play would still play Lynx.
Okay. All right, understood.
No.
All right.
No. I think Tottenham will play Lynx. Foundation would play Lynx.
Foundation end up play Lynx.
Yes, that's it.
Oh.
Yes. You see it now?
So why to remain the same? Lynx play Foundation, Bull Bay play Right Stuff, Brayton play Classic would have play Mechanical, and then Brayton would have play Foundation.
Yes, that's it.
I think it will remain the same, man.
It will remain the same?
Yes, I think it will remain the same because the thing is that
wait, let's check.
Yes, man, because in 6th position, Fort International still be in 6th position because remember Fort International beat Foundation, you know. So and they're still be in 6th position, Fort International. So Fort International will still end up play Lynx.
Still play Lynx. Yeah, Brayton I was saying, sorry. My correction, Brayton, they will play Brayton, sorry.
Yeah, they would have played Brayton. All right. So in 7th place, Mechanical on 43 points. In 8th place, Foundation on 41 points. 9th place, Nagahead on 37 points. And in 10th place, Chergard on 34 points. So what's up 11th place? 31 points. Central in 12th place, 26 points. Memory Lane on 24 points in 13th place. And Passage 14, 14th place on 22 points. Correctional on 20 points. Masterpiece on 18 points. And Village Links in 17th place on 17 points. Okay, so the top 8 going to the quarterfinals is Classic, Brayton, Links, Bull Bay, Right Stuff, Fort International, Mechanical, and Foundation. So that's the top 8 going into the quarterfinal. And that is when? Next week Sunday, not this Sunday, next week Sunday, right? That is Sunday. Right, Professor? The mic is mute, Professor.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Yes. That's how it goes.
Okay. All right. Let us go into the Sansan League now. With the play of the week, the play of last week, although this week is finished. Remember, this was supposed to be aired on Wednesday. But because Wednesday gone, because today is holiday, there is no match today. So Wednesday gone, the Sansan League, were some rescheduled matches on Wednesday. So tonight is free. That's why we aired tonight. So the player for last week, the player of the week is BREDZ. BREDZ from 85 Strikers. And also, the team of the week is also 85 Strikers. The team of the week. So BREDZ, big up yourself, BREDZ, and welcome.
Yes, sir, there.
Yeah, man. The player of the week, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and subscribers, is BREDZ. First question I want to ask you, BREDZ. Why they call you BREDZ? I hope it's not because you love
from your stage.
what is it, Professor?
There's an echo in the background. Please clear it now. BREDZ, if there's something on a device also behind the camera.
Yeah, BREDZ.
Probably a domino I play. Was it like that?
So we can go somewhere more quiet and more peaceful.
It's close to another device.
Yeah, I look like you're close to another device that is on air.
Professor, you hear it better?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, it's better now. Look a bit better.
Yes, man.
Yeah, so I was asking why they call it BREDZ.
It's a long story from youth stage. Yes, I love BREDZ from a longer time.
Oh, it's a bread eater.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, you can eat off all of BREDZ?
No, not one time. Me not so dangerous.
Professor?
Yeah, man. BREDZ, just I know you played a good game. Probably your amount of points that you won by was probably the largest in the competition so far. What do you think happened to you on that day? What do you think was the difference for you playing so well on that day?
Well, Shrimps come back this week and win by 16 as well. But as me I say, yes, when a year there for win domino, I just year there. Because all of we in the sport, all of we can play. But when I year there, I just year there. I just believe I just in my idea.
Yeah.
And God just shine the light for me that night there.
How long now you playing domino, Brett?
Well, couple of years now, about 7, 8 years. Home
Okay.
court competition domino.
Yeah. Who inspired you to play?
Well, the great other than great other from right stuff. Well, in there foreigner now still, but yeah.
Okay.
He introduced me to the open court domino. But Oliver introduced me to the domino overall. But them time they saw some all that player, the bar league. You know, like 6 table and first to 6 each. You have one table player now, but a 6 peer player. So a first to
Oh, like a
15,
cluster.
Professor Sego.
Yeah, man,
Yeah, the
it's
bar
like a
league.
cluster.
The Professor the inner side. So
Okay.
each peer play first to 15, 6 table.
So what motivates you to play
So that was the
domino?
first league where I played. And then, second,
What motivates you to play domino? Open court.
repeat MELLACHE.
What motivates you to play domino?
Why?
Open court domino?
Well, domino, you see domino play, domino is a fun sport and thing, you know. And then the year when the first year I fly out, I see other day, a USA with the Jamaica team, Lala and couple other man. And every time he bring me out of the house, I'm a watch. Man, I say, well, this fun. So many times, anytime I come back, me have to start travel with him on Sundays. And every Sunday I go match, I enjoy the match. I don't even play, I enjoy the match. And from them then until now, dedicate my Sundays to domino.
Okay.
Uh,
How often do you play domino, Brett?
Well, mostly on Sundays, but they have couple days during the week when cause even right now, me still there at domino ground. When I'm out there play domino. So couple times during the week. I got 2 3 days during the week we play domino same way.
all
Okay.
right, Bird. This is a question I love to ask you. And this is significant because I think that this all persons who on this platform who have a player of the week should be able to what is tell me about this format of the game. Do you enjoy it more than even the code?
Honestly, no, you know. Me, honestly prefer the open court more. Honestly prefer the open court more.
Uh, Give me one reason why you prefer. the-
Because the main reason when I play with a better player than me. So if you learn some shot and you enjoy the game even more when the pressure come off of you. And you win and I learn shot said way.
All right. Apart from this competition you are currently participating, what other cross-table competitions you have been involved with?
Where the first surprise league where they play. I was a part of that league and the side I went to the finals, but sadly we lost in the final. That's all that cross table competition I played in.
That was the lower part.
Second?
It was separated in two competitions, right? At the
No
time,
man, the first one was that?
it wasn't divided
I think
into
the first I think the first competition he kept was one
Oh
just one
yes.
tournament. Yeah man.
Okay, I will do that.
I went to the final and we lost.
Okay, all right. You have went to the final before and last. You have played what 4 games, lose 2, win 2. how is it now you see your chances now of your team qualify? Give me your, you
Well,
think you have it now?
actually we played 4, lose 3, and win 1.
Three, lose three. Beautiful. Okay.
Yes, yes.
What
But
how
analyzing the
chances are we?
tournament, analyzing our side, I see we have a good chance of making the top 8. We just need to iron out certain things in our side and put our best foot forward. And we should be in the top 8 coming to the end of the season. And then we take it from there.
Okay, all right. What you have been? What was your last performance on the last game you played? What you performing that game? Coach?
Well, it wasn't have a good night because our side end up on the losing side of things. And I think I'm trailing by 3 in that match. So I didn't
Right,
contribute to the side winning. None at all. And then we lost the match. So it wasn't
all
a good
right,
performance.
all right, great. Finally for me, you you have a good start so far. How do you, and the tournament is internationally ranked. How do you see yourself finishing as individually in this competition?
Well, I'm hoping to be among the best in this tournament. Because as I can see, I have a lot of quality players and then they have a lot of blinds. So hopefully I'm near to the quality players rather than on the blind side. Yes.
All right, boss. I hear you. Melati.
Okay, okay, Breds. Congratulations again for being the player of the week, and
Thank you.
thank you for being here with us. And I would like to say again, congrats and keep up the good work, sir. And I hope to interview again on
Thank you.
MELLACHE.
I hope I'm hoping to do this every week.
Yeah, man.
That,
Yes,
Again.
sir. Good incentive, right,
say
Brett?
again.
Good incentive.
Yes, I and yeah, yes. Because they're going
Okay.
right back to the
Mama Pia.
competition.
All right, sir. All
Who?
right. All right.
Mama Pia.
Thanks again, Brett.
All right then. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
my
man. No problem.
viewers, that was player of the week for last week. BREDZ himself. Yes, from 85 Strikers.
Big bird.
What was that, Professor?
Oh, it's a big bird.
Oh, yes, he got his name Bread because he loved to eat bread. All right. Um, I've realized now, Professor, some persons are coming down really, really hard on Sonic because of their ignorance to the rule. You understand? And I know the rule is printed and handed out to every club before the competition started, right? And they are trying to like they're trying to manipulate Sonic, right? And say it's because of her, it's because of her league and all those stuff. That is not right, Professor. Because the rules were given out, everybody's supposed to have a rules sheet, with all the rules.
One of the greatest
Right?
indiscipline in the game is as a result of a lot of persons don't want to follow the rules. And if a rule is put in place, that is why I encourage as much as possible administrators to put whether constitution or rules in place in governing the sport. Because when you might be the head of the organization. However, you don't want to talk to over 1,000 people, for argument's sake, in a competition. You don't want that. So you put the rules in place, a system in place to allow persons to adhere to. Now, I don't understand why when the rule is there and persons are not following, because there's a way of persons using the rules to suit their own interests. And if the rules is there stating that if you are late, you are going to be penalized, or any other rule, especially if the game is playing any sort of infringement, you are supposed to be punished. You have to adhere to the rule, and persons need to respect the administrators of the league. If there's an issue where there's oftentimes chaos, for me, I think the administrators should look at it after the commission is finished and see if there adjustments can be made. But as long as the league is going on and the rule is, if it's not in favor of the rule, you have to adhere to the commission, because as you did mention, those rules were given out prior to process into the commission. It was not given during the commission was going on. So you find say it's suited because of what is
Yes,
going on
it's
currently.
their reluctancy for not reading the rules, you know.
And one of the things that I've found in persons, this game is so much it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for persons behaving in certain manner. Generally, no individual in particular, but there's something about the persons who play the sport. They don't do a lot to enhance the sport. They don't play their part, and they are the first one in every crevice and corner to talk about what is happening. They are the first. They don't try to contribute monetary to help in a situation. They don't try to contribute by the intangibles coming to games and etc. etc.
Trying to build the sport.
And yet, yes, and yet they always complain about something. I think that needs to be changed, and I stand with any persons, administrators who stand up for their right to see a competition go in the way
Yes,
they
trying to build the sport instead of breaking it down.
yes, breaking it down. I think that we have a problem, and this is not unique to this competition either. It happening in both the leagues that are current. One that finished and one is going on as we speak.
Let me tell you, I think what is the problem, what I think. Because both players, clubs, and administrators should adhere to the rule, you know. So the thing is that no compromising, meaning no zero tolerance, right? You should have zero tolerance in this competition. No leniency, right? So if the rule says it's competition starts 7, you start at 7. Don't say because a team is there and the team say, give them some time, man. Right? Because you know what going to happen? People going to make reference of that.
Yes, I agree.
People will make reference of that. You understand? So zero tolerance. As the head, you write the rules, or you have a body that wrote the rules. Stick by the rules. Don't let anybody tell about we are give them some time, because I might tell what time we are give the next team some time for reach and stuff like that. So from the head adhere by the rules, nobody can tell you anything.
One of the things, though, MELLACHE, as much as you have said that there are going to be exceptions, you know, at times there are going to be exceptions. So you have to look out for the exceptions. If you continue to break your own rules without an exception, for argument's sake, divine intervention, etc. For instance, you come in on your way far, some persons coming from as far as Montego Bay. How do you compensate for a person who is probably as a puncher or in a minor accident? Because we're just using minor because you still want him to come to the game. You know? How do you look on that? You have to be quiet, you have to be a bit lenient. So things like that. But other from nothing happen, I think we should adhere to the rules, and whatever consequences we should suffer.
Okay, all right. For something like that though, that is something that we cannot predict and we can't avoid. You understand? Like maybe you're coming in and there's an accident or something. But prior to that, though, you can call in and ask the organizer for some time and make some time. Say, you know what, we're going to be, but the match can start 7. Are you going to call 7:15? Right? Or you're going to call maybe 5 minutes to 7. You have to give the other team time notice too. You understand? So even though you're going to be late, match starts 7 o'clock. You can call in like maybe 6:30 for the organizer to get in touch with the next team. Say that they're going to be late, right? At least that is common courtesy.
Sometimes, Melachi, as we look at, as you mentioned that, probably at 6:30 they could, by looking at what way they are, they could have made it, and then some unforeseen event derail that. So, for instance, they probably at just off the toll at 6:30 waiting, and then when they reach into the urban setting, there's probably traffic, etc., and something like that. So, and probably when they were at about 15 minutes into that, them knows to them good, but just like they can't make it for 7, they call 5 minutes to. I mean, that ain't bad, and say give us 10 or some more minutes. Things like that can be looked at. So sometimes, as much as you at 6:30, you're in good stead of making it to the venue. Within another 15 minutes, you are derailed for some unforeseen event. So we have to give and take, but it cannot be happening consistently, especially the one team. So if one team say 3 consecutive games have the same problem, say that's a different thing now. So we have to as much as possible, we put the rules in place. We still have to be looking at aspects of where things can go wrong. So as much as possible, I implore the organizers to carry due diligence based on the rules they set out. But as you said,
between me and you though, Professor, between me and you though, it has to be more severe than that though, than traffic, because traffic always depends on the road. So it has to be more severe than that though.
Yes, man. As I say, it depends on how the organizers see it. And that's what I said earlier. If that happens like 3 consecutive times, no, we have a problem. Because if you go 2 times and you realize you could make it within that time span, and you make it happen to a 3rd time, you have to suffer the consequences. Just simple like that. That means you have to leave a bit 15 minutes earlier then, if that is the case. Where you usually reach at 6:30, now you have to be 15 minutes ahead of that time.
Okay. Well, one thing I can say, this league is very important to a lot of us, and also if it weren't for this league, some persons wouldn't be highlighted like that. You understand? You wouldn't have been a lot of persons. You wouldn't know about a lot of persons if it wasn't this league. So you have to give Sansan kudos and credit for this league. And players, please stop bash down Sansan. Right? Stop bash her. She don't have anything. The rules are there before. The rules are there for you to read. So please adhere by the rules. Right? It's not something that, like what Professor said, the tournament was up and running and then you get the rules. The rules are there before. All right, but despite of that though, it's a great league. And it's exciting and interesting. Persons are looking forward to team of the week or play of the week. Yeah, so it's a very nice league, interesting league. All right, we're moving on now, Professor. So we're moving on to the quarterfinal. Yes, what everybody has been waiting for. I'm looking forward to. So as much as I can't understand this to the Professor, because this is a knockout round. Person is looking forward to go to quarterfinal, and it is a knockout round. You understand? From a
Yes,
loser knockout. But yes, still they just want to say they reach quarterfinal.
no, not necessarily. If as long as you
Yeah.
reach a quarterfinals, you have a chance. That's simply it.
Yeah, but
That is what
okay.
exactly. No, you can if you don't reach the last eight, or you're going to have a chance. If you're picking a final eight, you decide the
Yes.
commission. You always want to be there. If you want ever playoff spot, that's where you want to be. That's where you have a chance. So
Yeah, like I always
persons
tell Keystone, I always say, Domino play upon the day.
exactly. And one the best teams I've seen where a lot of teams, as we say, it's repeated. It's not nothing strange for anybody. Teams that who are unbeaten, never lost a match, or lost only one encounter, just lose at the quarterfinals. So we have to take this quarterfinals serious. One of the things that we usually my team saw us up at one stage. We were losing out at the before we reached quarterfinals in the initial stages of our participation in the tournaments. One of the things that we change is the mindset. We said, all right, we just want to reach a quarterfinals, and then there you always have a chance. You know, this is who you're going to play. So even if for argument's sake in this competition, classic foundation shouldn't be afraid at this stage, knowing that at some point if they're going to reach, probably beat they necessarily must have to face classic, but at some point if you want to win this competition, you have to beat the best teams, and the best teams are in the final eight as we speak. So as long as you reach there, as you just mentioned, Western Christian often said Domino play on the day, you just won one game. There's no return to make up for the defeat, and unless it's the other year, and that is irrelevant in the present moment. So reaching the quarterfinal, that's your aim to really have a chance. And as we are going into the final eight now, that's where everybody have a chance.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Yes, Carlton Miller. Big up yourself, Carlton. Mama P in
Yeah.
the house. Big up
So
Mama
I scream
P.
that in the wall.
Who
So
that?
I scream that in.
Carlton Miller.
Well done. Yeah.
The movie star himself.
Movie star himself.
The movie star. Yes, Lazar and Foley team up on the movie star.
Yeah, man.
But the movie star him sure. Always star him sure. Big up Sour Screen. Big up yourself, sir. Mama P, big up, big up. Mama P in the house. Donovan Davis, you're large. Big up yourself, Donovan Davis. Always on my program.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Natasha. Natasha Perry. Good night, Natasha Perry. Yes. Moving on to the quarterfinal. All right, we have Classic versus Foundation Professor. I remember Domino play on the day.
Well,
So
let me tell you about these teams in the last year. Something interesting comes up.
yes.
All teams, all teams that qualified for this last eight played in the first week of January. So when the commission started in November that is, until the first week of January, all the teams in the top eight already play each other. So that is
Yes.
interesting. And that's from round six. Round six, all teams played already in this top eight. So that means no, and that stage, seven of the team present in the quarterfinals were in the top eight. So after six rounds, seven of these teams were in the top eight. Only one team was outside of that top eight, and it was Foundation.
Okay.
So so now Foundation probably rightly finished in eighth position as a result, and they now face Classic, who on that occasion when they meet the first time, Classic, it was a blowout by 50.
Yes.
So it was 250, 200. Now, this, as we say, is a knockout stage. I don't know how much Foundation has improved in going into this this quarterfinal against a mighty Classic. However, the only way they can win this encounter, they will have to be added quality. So a few persons would have to be probably a 2 or 3 good players that I presume they have, because there were a couple of players who came down to play in a couple of games. And if those players can come back again and put in some punch, they will definitely be somewhat of a contest for a Classic. If
So
not, I
Sniper is
don't
still
see
there?
this.
You know if Sniper is still there?
I couldn't say, but if Sniper is not setting the role right now in terms of his playing, still a quality player. And in this competition, you have 4 set of players. You know, you have the blinds, and you have the hybrid, and you have the octane and the high octane. As we speak,
Okay.
a lot of blinds not in this top 8, you know. However,
Yes, sir.
yeah, that's a lot of blinds. So, foundation for me would have to, Classic could have definitely have to, in order to, the Classic would have to lose this for themselves against a foundation team who has only secured, I can't remember probably only one team. I just want to check that, because I doubt if them beat any team in the top 8, you know.
Foundation?
It's yes, I don't, by looking at the top 8, you know, I don't believe them win a beat a team in the top 8.
That's true, you know. I think that's true. In the top 8, I don't think they beat any team in the top 8.
Yes, I doubt it. So if probably they just probably beat one, but if somebody can correct me if that is the case. However, it's for me, they definitely finish the position they are in at the moment. They're right to finish in the 8th position, I think.
So they're in their rightful position there.
Yes, based on what is happening. So Classic should get this one home with the quality, the amount of octanes and high octane players they have, you know, in this a few hybrids.
So you're saying, you're trying to say that Classic, they don't have to send for Hardy Boy as it?
No, I don't think that it warrants a Hardy Boy to come down for this one. Foundation, well, as we said, Domino play on the day, but I don't just see them winning this competition, winning this match.
This encounter.
Believe you me. Yes, this encounter is very difficult. I guess they will put up a competition somewhere about, because they are in with a fight. The captaincy, to me, has a lot to desire for Foundation too. So that has to be one of the areas they have to look at.
So he's saying they beat Mechanical in the top 8.
Yes, probably that's the only team they have beaten.
Yeah, that's the only team they beat in the top 8.
And it has shown that the Mechanical just finished 7th. So that to show you that they only beat a team that is second to them as we speak, and probably on par with them. So in this matchup, Classic all the way, looking for all the top players, putting down them foot in this one. The high octanes, you know. So you have the high octanes and you have the octanes, as we mentioned, and hybrids, you know. As I said, in this competition so far, there are a few blinds in the competition. Leave. Most of the blinds are is not in the top 8. So a few players. So most of the players now are of some quality. So Classic for me in this one, over Foundation, and probably I look at that. Probably they will make a run for it and probably get beaten by close to 30.
Close to 30. Okay. All right. I'm wondering if any Foundation is in is in the group here listening. Close
Yeah,
to
man.
30.
They have some quality players, and as some players that as I say, I probably respect almost everybody who play domino. And when I make certain, they are good players. They are my good friend Foley and Co, etc. We are on one team in the Sansan League. You know, it will be good for if they will can carve out a victory, but it will be very, very difficult for them. They will have to probably play their best game of the season. And I think there's a little inconsistency with with our foundation plays. And one of the thing I point out early in the season is that they need use the football terms that they need link men. And I think that's one of the situation or they play. They don't have players who like up players who can sit in the middle and distribute the as we mentioned, distribute the ball all over the park. Link men. I think that's one of the things that they are missing. And they just go helter skelter either way. When they are losing, they will be losing in piles, and when they're going in guys. So the only
Let me
way
ask
one of
you,
the go ahead.
let me ask you a question though, Professor. Do they have a venue for the quarterfinals yet? Is there a venue?
That that hasn't been decided as yet. So we look forward by the end of the by next Wednesday. Mr. Mina usually get his venues quite early. So I know that he's thinking about 4 venues now and trying to see what's best for the competition. The best venues for the competition, because we don't want to. One of the key things I think Mr. Mina needs to do, as you mentioned, venues, is to ensure that the capacity, the holding capacity is very important. You don't want a congested venue where persons
To
can
me,
see the
to
games.
me, the worst venue. To me, the worst venue is Pembroke Hall. You know, to me, it's more congested up. You
But
understand?
no,
It's hot
no,
and
You can't mention Pembroke. That is in the town league. Mr. Mina won't carry the game out that far.
oh,
No,
okay. But last year it was at just here Park or something like that.
no, in the Portmore league, it usually play at different venues, not one venue.
Okay.
Yes, especially quarterfinals. They usually play at venues, and then if there is a big lawn, if there is a much bigger venue, he usually play the last 4 teams. But he
Oh,
usually
okay.
plays the quarterfinals at 4 different
And
venues.
semifinals at different venues.
Sometimes he carries them under one venue. That's it, the semifinalists. So let's see how he will was venues. And I think that the best way is to find the best, as I said before, in terms of capacity, holding capacity, because persons want to see the game. Because remember, you have 8 teams at the quarterfinal, and
Yes.
another the 9 that didn't make it. Those 9 players from the 9 other teams are going to be somewhere around those 4 venues, plus neutral spectators, etc. So we have to try to accommodate players in its capacity. That is important.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Moving on. We have Brayton versus Mechanical. What do you have to say about that match?
Well, in the preliminaries, Brayton did came away victors in this one by just 8. Um, Probably mechanically would give a lot of kudos of not being blown away in this encounter. So they made a game of it. Brayton still it on and came out victors. And I expect them with the quality team going up against mechanical. It, it's definitely going to be a contest, I believe. But Brayton will just have it to make the to go with this one. They have quality, and believe you me, I think I'm going to say this. I believe probably they have the best chance to beat Classic, you know, and I expect them to give Mechanical probably not a hiding, but um, just enough to 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 show their quality. Mechanical has been finishing 7th in this competition. Had to wait on the last day to ensure that they qualify for a top 8. They have been setting the road alight. A lot of persons, I have to give them a lot of kudos because a lot of persons didn't expect them to eventually make it as a result of the teams they were going to face in latter part of this tournament, and they did themselves proud by coming by eventually in the top 8. But Britain should win this one with the quality, the much quality they have in going to this quarter final.
Okay, you have some persons cheering for mechanical. Yes. All right. What's the margin of victory here? You think Britain?
Britain will win by about 20.
Okay. All right. Moving on. I'm sorry. Center forward is not here to get his view on this Links versus Fourth International. What you have to say, Professor?
Links with it's
But to be honest, though, Professor, I don't see anything spectacular from Fourth International as yet.
yes, and I haven't seen anything, especially from spectacular, from Links in the latter stages either. But I think probably they did themselves justice early because their game against Links, when they first met, Links beat Fortuna by just 6. And
Yes.
one of the reasons, just to answer your
And then they
question,
failed to go in countdown. They did fail to go in a countdown.
yes, why? Just to answer your question, Fort hasn't able to get all their. I don't believe they get all of their best players um, together at one match, and they and able to 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 select the sort of game plan, to execute a game plan accordingly. So it's difficult for them. That's why there's a like inconsistency with how Fort is played so far this season, and they are quite fortunate to be in this last 8 year. Because if 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 the organizers, is something I'm going to talk about now. If the organizers should have um, scrapped all points that are awarded to teams from the moment Davi Me drop out of the commission. So no points should be awarded to those teams. Yeah. So no team should have awarded those points. I think they should have continued playing the
Yeah,
competition
but it don't change
without
anything, though, Professor. They will still be in the
without
same position. It don't change anything.
who would be the
Because
same
they will still,
position.
every team will just still be in the same position. Because if you take it away, they're still going to be in the same position. Take away the 4 points from everybody. So it
What?
really don't. No, what I'm saying,
No,
the
no.
4 points, the 4 points you awarded for every team, just because of Garvey Mead, every team got the 4 points. So if every team didn't get the 4 points, they will still be in the same
It will
position.
be yeah, because all teams will get 4 points less. But that's what I'm saying now. I believe that all teams, those teams shouldn't have awarded points. You know? So that is something that need to be looked at. I don't think teams should have awarded points. Actually, from the moment the teams are not able to participate in the commission, those points should be not allocated to any team, and the fixtures null and void.
Yes. Let me give you a scenario example in chess. In chess, if a person default a game, So if it's a team sport, once they don't reach halfway, of the tournament, all the points are void. But if they reach halfway in the
Yes,
tournament, that other teams already played them, well, they can
exactly.
allocate the points to the rest of the teams. But once they don't reach
That's what I'm saying.
halfway, yes, they don't have to put on any points.
Yes, exactly. They don't want to put any points, and that should need to look on because they didn't even play the first encounter.
Yes,
You understand? So, but as we go back to this team, this is one of the trickiest encounters to call, and I believe as much as because as a result of Ford not able to, what should I say, get it right. I think Link have a better formula going into this encounter. Not so impressive in the latter stages, but still do what Links do. Still finish on 50 in third place. So I just give them the edge based on the fact that they are better unit than Ford, and I expect them to win this encounter. Um, um, very within a margin of in the teens. I just believe Lynx is just probably about 15 points better than Ford based on how
and
things.
you're saying this based on their last encounter, Lynx versus Fourth. That the win that Lynx got, it weren't so impressive, right? It weren't so impressive. That's why you're saying that this could go either way, but you still give Lynx the edge.
Yes, it could, but I just see Lynx as just by that cohesiveness or they are playing through the season, just more about another 10 points more
Okay,
in the quarterfinal year.
so Lynx all the way for you here.
Yes, I'll give. This is probably the most trickiest counter though for me. I can tell you that.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Bull Bay versus Right Stuff.
Bullby. This is something. This is another encounter, not so tricky as Fort, and I will go based on what is happening in the competition so far. So my predictions are not based on I I have a what should I say? I have a biases towards any particular team. I just based on what is going on in the competition. The last time in the preliminaries, Bull Bay win by 40 something run, by 40 something, the margin of 44, I think. Now, Rice Stuff went on a run ever since and 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 justified their slot in the top eight. They had some struggles in the last set of games, and I think maybe there are very few opponents who struggle very much, and then eventually come with something splendor. They showed us that one thing I can tell you, Rise Up is a team that usually rise to occasion when the big moments for most parts. They have
Yes,
a
I
lot to be
noticed that
desired.
too.
Yes, they have a lot to be desired sometime in recent times going up against certain teams, especially we just reaching the quarterfinals and us losing out. They might just probably look at that and want to do one better. However, I still see Bulby who is playing very well as a unit, and what they have been doing through the season is not giving any team a chance. They just don't let up on teams like that. Even if the game is encounter is close, they do still want to win, and they are playing like a team who want to win the competition. I just don't. So I just believe something is missing though. However, I just give them the edge over right stuff. This game will. I don't know. I just see Rise Up them beating Rise Up about 10. In this encounter. Just the Rise Up going to put up a good fight, and then Bull Bay will win them out about 10 points.
Okay, so your semifinalists are Classic, Brayton, Lynx, and Bull Bay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Mhm.
to me though, I think those are the favorites though, you know. I think your choices, those are the favorites. Because Classic versus Foundation
Well,
is a favorite. Brighton versus Mechanical, I know Brighton is a favorite. Lynx versus Fort, Lynx is a favorite. And Bull Bay versus Right Stuff, Bull Bay is a favorite. So you're bringing all the favorites.
no, not necessarily favorite.
Although
I'm just doing because as I'm saying, Milachi, it's not based on no
are you
sentiments,
speaking
you know.
based on statistically speaking?
Yes, all the thing, based on what is happening. Because let me give an example. Ford is flattered to deceive in a sense. They have a new one of the things that I said before the commission is that the captain is going to be a factor for them, and it did prove that very early too. They have gotten a different captaincy, a little more improvement, but some games they flatter to deceive. And I believe in terms of their approach, and I just believe because they don't have a cohesive unit. They have probably one of the largest squads, you know, and they have a few players that will do well. It matters, but just because if they had been playing together as a unit, like how Lynx is playing, I would care for to win this competition, win this match. So I would go for and that is why I go for the Lynx based on the cohesiveness and so forth. I don't see them putting up a little bit. The contest with it's the Lynx to me at this stage is probably about 10 more points than what they beat Port with the last time. I don't see them as 10 more points better than something. So even somebody mentioned right stuff usually. Um, right stuff can be so it's not starting favorite. You might say I'm looking at the favorite. I don't know how you come by the favorite. I just carry the teams that definitely I think would come out winners. So all teams we just start favorites based on how we see them. Because if you ask persons to predict, a lot of persons would probably go just like what I said for most parts. Um, say say scatter send theme thing, you know.
Oh, well, Donovan Davis, which we already mentioned, Donovan, Mr. Davis, say right stuff. Normally rise to the occasion when it come down to these part of the game. Yes, and normally
And
rise to the occasion, especially when they're up against these tough opponents.
but one of the things, if my memory serves as much as the statistics, the stats are good. One of the situations Bryce has found himself in is that they haven't probably passed the quarterfinal stage for the last 4 competitions. I don't then believe that they passed the quarterfinal stage. So that is
Uh,
something going against him as much as they do well against big teams. So that is something to be looked on, to be looked at. So as much as they have a great team traditionally over the years, it's not so in recent years. As we put it, some of the stats now is leaning towards the regular season. So Rice of as they mentioned, Rice of was having a poor about 3 or 4 poor games prior to meeting Classic, and just one blunder within the last 15 games um, allowed them to lose. They played a very good play. When you look at it, they were probably the only team that were in the best chance to beat Classic, and I end up just by just making either few miscalculations or a blunder, and end up on the other side of the snatching a loss out the jaws of defeat, out of
all right,
victory.
Natasha.
Sorry.
Natasha sending that prediction for the quarterfinal. I don't know which Natasha Perry is this, who it is. but she said links, mechanical, bull bay, and classic. But based on her prediction, I'm thinking that Natasha is a mechanical player, a mechanical fans. Because she said links, bull bay, classic, and mechanical.
All right. So on to scatter. You know, to scatter. Scatter selling 50, you know.
What is Sketcher saying here? You saying links? I don't understand what Sketcher is saying here. That's why.
Bull Bay, Brayton, and Classic.
Links, bull bay, oh, Brayton and classic. Oh, his prediction here.
Yes.
But Mr. Davis said he's going for an upset. Classic, Brayton, right stuff.
Links. Yeah. Yeah, so the right the upset will be right stuff.
Yes. Right stuff. All right, my viewers. We have come to another end of another week of MELLACHE analysis Thursdays. Please don't watch the name because we're going back to analysis with Thursdays, but based on San League. And the reason why we are on tonight is because tonight is a free night. No matches are going on tonight, the San League, because it's a public holiday. The San League was rescheduled for Wednesday gone. Yes.
So Everton in his predictions.
Yes.
Everton in his prediction.
Yes. I'm going to think of a prize I'm going to think of something to give away for maybe the person can predict the winner for the league or something because I think the top four.
And the scores, one of the things that become interesting, we can predict the scores are within that range, you know? Something
Yes,
like that, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it close the scores, you know. You know,
yes.
That make it interesting.
Donovan is asking if we will be on for next week. What I want to do, yes, I don't really want to break, you know. And also, I think we want to do like a commentary on the Western League, you know. Professor, what is your thought on that? I think we want to do some. Huh?
Yes, so, yes, probably we can look at the Western League for this for next a few Western League and the Sansan League. We might just probably pop up with the news, some news from the quarterfinal. There's some persons coming in, etc. News like that we can look on what's the buzz out there now and thing because
yes,
we have already looked at the
the Western League has started. So we can give news and feedback on the Western League also. So yes, Donovan, we are on for next week. We're on for next week.
And the days are confirm it.
Yeah, I think it will go back to the Wednesday because the reason why I moved from the Wednesday is because of the rescheduled matches. Yes. Hi Velma, you're late. Miss Ellis, you're late. Good night. We have come to the end of another program, and we will be back next week. The week has ended for the Sansan League, so next week Wednesday you will know the winner. Oh, Mondays, yes, Donovan, that's true. So maybe so I think that, those matches will reschedule for the Wednesday.
Yes, the Wednesday. Because I will be playing on Wednesday. But I was at that match on Monday.
Oh, so you're playing on Wednesday?
Yeah, because
so
what would we do,
Professor? So what would we do here?
We just look at the schedule and see what the best way we can do.
Yeah,
We
because
can
Sansan
probably
League
find.
is playing Tuesday to Wednesday, Tuesday to Friday.
So we can work out, man. We work
Unless,
out something.
unless we're going to have it this Saturday.
We don't know. We see what can.
Well, Mr. Davis, you will know. We will post in the group. You will know. You will be informed before time. But the show must go on, Mr. Davis. Must go on. The news, the Domino news has to spread. Yes. So thanks again for viewing. Everett, I'm going to check to see if you did get all 8 correct for last prediction. For last
Yes.
week prediction. So we're going to check then of Everett. And you will get your totals credit if you got all 8 correct. So thanks for viewing, my
So big up
viewers.
sour and big up sour
Yes.
cream. Yeah.
Yes, so screen. Big up yourself, so a movie star. And please, my viewers, please remember to click like on the video. Yes. Click like on the video. And remember, if you don't subscribe as yet, you need to subscribe so that whenever time I'm streaming, you don't have to wait on a link. It will just pop up on your phone. So once you subscribe, once I post anything, it will just pop up on your phone. You don't have to wait on a link. So please remember to subscribe and click like. All right, thanks again. See you guys next week. Thanks for viewing.
Yeah, man.